Welcome back to another episode of Unpacking Life with the box and the basket. And today we're going to have a very interesting, almost a solo episode with the CFO, Vanessa Marquez, of the Marquez family.
Officer.
But before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate y'all listening, watching, however you're getting our content. So the new year just started, and we're excited for this year financially, personally. We started talking about our finances, and people had been asking us about budgeting and not super intrusive questions about what we asked, but we're about to just lay it all on the table.
I don't want to, but I was told it might be a good idea. So this is either going to be great or terrible.
Yeah,
I'm so nervous. I don't want to. You're gonna be like, what? Why?
So keep in mind, we've been together for 12 years, and we started with nothing. We have screenshots of our bank accounts with $200 in it, and we've gotten to this point where we have, luckily, the ability to be able to spend this and be financially free.
People are still going to come for us, so that's fine. But we're going to share what we spend and how we budget as a family of 5. This is for 2023. Every year I change the numbers a little bit. Ricky knows some of these numbers because preparing for this episode, we talked about it.
Yeah. I
should have just left him in the dark so you guys could get his raw response.
As shocked as you guys.
A lot of things he doesn't know about. But we've done episodes on this, I think, like why I let my wife handle the finances and just like gender roles and finances and who handles what money and blah, blah, blah. So
this is why.
In short, like I've always just been good with budgeting and money just from coming from like that scarcity mindset. Like I'm going to run out. So I always like over budget it. And for a long time, I mean, for a bulk of our relationship at this point, we had to check prices. We had to be careful with our money. I couldn't get my hair done. I couldn't go get my nails done. There were other things we had to spend our money on. So we were tight for a long time. And just having goals, supporting each other, and like taking steps to achieve goals have made us more financially free, I would say, where we don't really have to worry about a lot. And we spend, like, we could spend more money and we could spend less money, but I think we're comfortable with the lifestyle that we've gotten to. So we've discussed, like, do you want a bigger house? Do you want to spend more on, I don't know, sports and hobbies? So we've talked about it. We've kind of zoomed in on what we want and what we're spending is worth it to us.
Right.
So I think a lot of people miss that part. They're just like, well, I want to save.
Yeah.
Well, what are you saving for? Or, I spent too much on this. Well, why? Is it not worth it, or is it worth it? So we're just going to dive right in. So we'll start with our mortgage, which I think is going to be upsetting to some people because to me it's low. So we spend $1,730 a month on our mortgage. We have a really good interest rate. We bought the house 8 years ago.
Almost
We've had
9.
several opportunities to move. But for us, having a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 house payment is like not something we're wanting to do.
Right.
The house that we have is, big enough. Everyone has a bedroom.
Yeah, it's just under 4,000 square feet.
Yeah.
6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It's a 2-story with a basement. And I mean, we got it in 2015, so we got it at a bargain. Yeah. But back then, we could barely afford the payment.
We couldn't.
Yeah.
And the payment back then, because the rate was higher, was like $2,200. And we were barely like scraping by. So
we're house poor.
We've refinanced. But we did know, like going into it, we knew that it would be long term. So we were like, just finish the basement, add the extra money. finish the landscaping, and then we'll start paying it off. And so that was a goal. Like, we built it the way we needed it, and then we just slowly started paying things down, refinance, blah, blah, blah. Utilities run us about $300. Obviously, that varies, but the average for us is $300 a month. So that's for gas, electric, and water. We have fake grass, so that saves us on our water bill. Next, we have cable and internet, which is $200 a month. And this category we've reevaluated several times. Like, if we get YouTube TV or like streaming, and we get Roku's and this and that, and we've compared the cost, and then we would save like $20, and it just wasn't worth it for us to jump through all the hoops, install all these new devices. And then right now we're just spoiled because we talk into the remote and it pulls up whatever we want to watch. And then I don't need to spend that time learning the new system. So we have not switched over from that. Cell phone bill, we have, how many lines do we have? 4. Is $200 a month. Car insurance is $500 because we do have 3 vehicles. Not by choice. We'll get into that in a minute. So totally, car insurance is $500. And then car payments are $955 between 3 cars. Some of them are paid off and some are not. The reason that some of them are not paid off is because the interest rate on them is so low that if we were to pay those cars off and not have the payment, having that amount of money sitting in a bank account or an investment account is making us more money than paying off the car because it has such a low rate. So we can pay them off, but we're not because of that reason.
Right.
Whereas the ones with higher payments, we have paid off. So why do we have 3 cars? I was rear-ended by a felonious
individual.
He had just stolen a motorcycle, and he was trying to get on the interstate, and he tried to get around me. So he's going pretty fast up this ramp, and he hit me instead of going around me. So because he had just stolen the motorcycle, he obviously didn't have insurance on the stolen motorcycle. So our insurance only covered 30 days worth of rentals, but the car was brand new, so they needed new parts. And that took 4 or 5 months to get all the parts to fix the car. So our choices were spend, I think it was $9,800 for a rental car for that amount of time.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, so almost $10,000. Or buy a third car in preparation for, hopefully Dion doesn't watch this, but our son is about to be 15, so he'll be 16 soon and driving. So we didn't want a third car, but there have been several instances where we're like, okay, well, your car needs to go to the shop for a tune-up or an oil change, and then we're having to Uber back and forth and navigate, not having a car for a couple of days. So it's nice to have a third car, but it's not a necessity. But it became a necessity when they were like, oh, you need to pay $10,000 that I'm not going to get back to a rental car. So we decided to buy a third car, put the $10,000 towards paying on a car that eventually is going to go to our son. And now we've kind of figured out that once he takes the car, then our daughter will be 12. So we'll buy another third car. We'll start paying on the car for her. And then rinse and repeat that cycle until all the kids are out of the house.
Right.
Just makes sense for us. I mean, doesn't make sense for everybody. And now we also call it our community car. It's the BTS car. So we have a behind the scenes chat with some of our friends. Yeah. And whenever they need the car, we let them take it. So we're doing a good deed with that as well. Next one is something everyone should have, and it's life insurance. So we spend about $180 a month on life insurance for Ricky and I, in case anything were to happen. That is an important thing that some people miss when budgeting. For sure. Because if something, God forbid, happens, you don't plan for it, but when it happens, it could be catastrophic if you don't have life insurance and you're missing the other person's income.
But now I'm worth more dead than alive, so I gotta watch my back around this one.
Okay. The other category that we have is self-care for the adults. So I have a kid section and I have an adult section. Yeah. So that's massages, facials, just like things we do to spoil ourselves.
No.
Ricky has learned that he likes doing self-care. He likes getting massages almost weekly. I check the calendar and
I
he's like,
wish.
oh, there's another massage. So I budget $500 for that. The next one is babysitters. We spend about $400 a month. We pay the babysitter $20 an hour. Sometimes we go over. So how I lay it out is every month has all these fixed expenses and then variable expenses. And the babysitter column is an average. Like June and July, when the kids are out of school, we need the babysitter a lot more.
Yeah.
So when I get to those months, in those cells on my spreadsheet, I put a higher number, like $700 or $800. Unless, for example, your mom's coming to visit and stay with
Right.
us, then I almost, I reduce it because she's here helping us. So I start with like an outline of everything, and then every month I look at that month and what do we have going on? Do we need extra funds for this, birthdays, whatever? And I add to those cells so that we're like prepared. The next one took us also a long time to get to, but now I could not live without it, and it's the cleaning lady. And she comes once a week, and it's $360, and it's probably, like, for a business owner, the best amount of money spent. I still clean. I still pick up every day. We still vacuum when she doesn't come, but, like, having someone clean the whole house in, like,
Right.
3 or 4 hours once a week is such a big help because, first of all, when I clean like a squirrel. Like, I don't
She
go
makes a
room by
mess.
room where I'm supposed to. I like start in the kitchen, and then I take something from the kitchen to the bedroom because it's out of place, and then I start cleaning the bedroom, and then I find something in there that doesn't go there, and then I go. It just takes me like a week to clean the whole house.
So you clean like a woman, basically.
You can't say that.
I just did. That women squirrel.
Not all of them. You can't generalize.
There's
women.
TikToks about it. It has to be true.
Well, there is a really funny one
I know.
where it goes like in circles of how like
And she just starts
this distracted
crying.
her. Yeah. And for us, like we look at how much do we make in our business a year, and then we break it down and how many hours we work. So then we know how much is our hour worth of time worth, and we pay her less than what our hourly is worth.
Right.
So then it makes sense for us. I just think it's like a huge help. The next one is also very important, and it's health and dental insurance. When you were still with the PD, we didn't have to worry about that because it just came out of your check. But now that we're both self-employed and we're, running the same business, we have to pay for that separately, and that is $13.50 a month. And then we have secondary insurance through
The VA.
the VA because you're 100% disabled. So with that, your dependents get CHAMP VA, which is a secondary insurance. So basically, whatever our primary insurance doesn't pick up, usually the secondary insurance picks up. And we've talked about in previous episodes that Ricky has retired from the police department. And one of the steps that we took to be able to do that was get that secondary insurance in place, which meant having to increase your disability rating from 80% to 100%.
Right.
So once we did that, that was one of the steps that we took.
If you need help with that, reach out.
Yeah, because we have a guy that's good at it.
Yeah.
The next category is kids. So this is like their sports, activities. This year, lunches were free because of some program or bill that was passed. In this category, clothes is not included in this. I have a clothes bracket for new clothes like 3 or 4 times a year. So typically right before the new season starts. So like in October, I buy more clothes for everybody for the winter time. In February, I buy more clothes for everybody for the springtime. In May and June, I start buying clothes for like the summer and like the start of school. So that is separate, but on the kids and all their activities and everything, we spend $600 a month. The next one is groceries. What do you think it is?
Groceries?
Don't look.
Oh, my bad.
Did you see it?
No. Probably like 900.
No, it used to be 800. Now with inflation, it's 1,200.
Damn inflation.
The next one is gas. So filling up all of our cars with gas. How much do you think that is?
I like 500.
Yep, 500. And then I have a seasonal bracket, which I change often. So
Usually
this,
up. Usually up.
it's twofold. So seasonal is like little things, and that's $100 a month. But then for like Christmas, Halloween, and one other one, I forget. I think it's Easter. For Christmas, obviously, there's a separate line in November and December where I split. Say we're going to spend $4,000 for Christmas. I allocate $2,000 in November, doing like some of the shopping ahead of time, and $2,000 in December for like last minute shopping and that kind of stuff. So that's separate from the seasonal column. But the seasonal is kind of like you need something for the house or you need new filters. So it's like more like every month kind of seasonal things.
Right.
Then I have an Amazon bracket,
Oh,
which
God.
this one is like,
We don't even own Amazon stock.
this is wishful thinking. So I allot myself or our family $400 a month on Amazon. But it usually ends up being more.
It
So
is
again, I have
always more.
I have the column for every month. And then like one side is what we're set to spend. And then on the right next to it is what we're actually spending. So every week I go through the bank account and I add up what we're actually spending in those categories. So at the end of the month, I know if we went over or under or what. And then it updates. So it updates for, years in advance. So if today or this month I spend $1,000 more on Amazon, then in 2052 I'm gonna have $1,000 less because I overspent on Amazon.
Yeah.
And then our biggest category of all, which I just realized, it's like even larger than our mortgage payment, is miscellaneous.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. Like every month I'm like, this is such a big number. It's $2,100. So every month we allot ourselves $2,100 for miscellaneous stuff. And that's mostly like eating out. We're going in to Target and the kids want to buy this. Like just unnecessary spending. And it adds up so quick.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't have a category, then it goes to miscellaneous and then it adds up quickly. Your $200 funny money is in here. So every month, Ricky takes out $200 in cash.
My gambling money.
So that we can stay married. Because when we first got together, we were struggling.
Yeah.
So he would go to the gas station all the time and buy unnecessary
I had to like
monsters
embezzle. I had to like embezzle. I used to smoke at the time, so I'd have to embezzle my cigarettes with my gas, and then Vanessa would be like, "Why are you filling up 2 or 3 times a week?" And I'm like, I gotta drive far. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But
anything that comes up, it seems like a big number, but it adds up so quickly.
Yeah.
Like one trip to Shields
oh, for sure.
for stuff that we didn't need, $500. That's a quarter of the miscellaneous budget already.
Yeah.
Like haircuts for the kids, medical bills we didn't think about, like just all goes there. The next one is lashes and nails. That's also something I won't give up because I don't want to wake up looking like a naked mole rat without eyelashes because mine are super thin and blonde, so I just look dead. And I don't get my nails done a ton.
Can we zoom in on the lashes?
And that's $300 a month. If I didn't, like, occasionally I need a pedicure because I have a hobby where I'm barefoot.
Yeah.
So
you don't go very often either.
I don't go often. So if I didn't do like my nails and pedicure every now and then, it would be like $200 for lashes.
Yeah.
And then I have another, this is the last category, which is like medical, dental, and supplements. So like pre-workouts, vitamins, any kind of like beauty and personal care goes in that category. I make an effort to buy things that are not as toxic and not going to kill us and poison us. So that category is $500. And sometimes we save on that one. So then if we only spend $300, then I add $200 to the Amazon one, and then we're all good.
And then we're almost half.
Yes. So again, I kind of touched on it a little bit already. We budget separately every month for holidays, things I didn't mention, birthdays. Mm-hmm. So I put everybody's birthday, I put Mother's Day, Father's Day, and I have a separate cell in that month for that. And I just kind of build out the whole year.
Yeah.
And let's see, anniversaries, special days, trips, school trips, home improvements,
mm-hmm.
and then holidays. So.
But this year we won't have any home improvements.
So in 2024... Ricky said that I could not do any home improvements. In 2023, what did we do? Did we do the office?
The office, the bathroom.
So we got a custom-built office. We did our bathroom, which I have a number for if you're curious. And since nobody can answer me, I'm just going to give the answer anyway. Yes, but Vanessa. So total our monthly expenses, and I don't know, hopefully I did the math right, is $12,775. It's a lot of money.
Ridiculous.
It hurts my heart, but there's we live a comfortable lifestyle, and yeah. The thing is that we don't our goal is not to upgrade from this. Mm-hmm. So even though it seems like a lot, it took us a long time to get here, mm-hmm. and we're still frugal. Just because it's our baseline,
yeah,
and we say no to a lot of things that we could spend money on because we have it.
Right.
But we invest a ton. So it's not like we're just spending all our money. There has to be a fine balance between, well, not fine balance, a balance between spending, mm-hmm. saving, and living. So you shouldn't, I don't know. For us, we don't want to be super tight and save all this money and then not live the lifestyle that we want to live while we're also saving this money. Mm-hmm. Right?
Exactly.
Okay. What else do I have? Oh, vacations. So in 2023, keep in mind it's the first year of freedom that we had because Ricky was early retired and we needed a reset year. Mm-hmm. We went to Europe, which we haven't gone in a long time. So we took a lot of trips because I approve all of Ricky's PTO and I let him go on all these trips. So for 2023, we spent $49,450 on vacation. So again, it was built in at the beginning of the year. Some were added. Germany was $22,000. So that was a big one.
Yeah.
Honestly, we splurged on the seats, mm-hmm. On the plane. Because it is a 10-hour flight. And then we had a lot of little trips that we took. But almost half was going to Germany. And obviously we don't go to Germany every year because it is such a big time commitment.
Yeah.
And then the bath remodel was around $20,000. Mm-hmm. So not terrible. And the office was $8,000.
Yeah. So
we have a plan for everything. We have our whole plan for 2024. Mm-hmm. It's only the beginning of the year, but we have every month is built out. We've talked about it. What do you have going on? Are you going on a trip with the boys to go golfing? When are we going to Vegas?
Hold on. Let's rewind because this is the first I'm hearing about it. But yes, I am.
No, we have.
And there's evidence.
We have 2 weddings this year, so we can't take that many trips.
No. Well, I can have at least one boys' golf trip.
Yeah. But the last number is how much we grew our net worth from 2022 to 2023, mm-hmm. which is also, I think, something that you could track, and it's super easy. So you tally up everything that you owe. So how much do you owe on your mortgage? How much do you owe on your cars? How much do you owe on credit cards? All these different debts. And you put it in one column and you add it up. So say you owe, I don't know, $600,000 in debt.
Mm-hmm.
But then how much is your house worth? How much is your car worth? Do you have any other assets or investments? And then add up all your assets, or things that you have a positive, value. And then if you subtract the liabilities from the assets, you'll get your net worth. So I don't think the public school system or system in general doesn't teach that. Like, oh, you should be keeping track of your net worth.
Right.
Like, who does that? But to us, it's something that's important. We do that every year. So we know, like, okay, we're spending a lot of money, but still our net worth is growing. And how much do you think it grew from 2022 to 2023? Now, keep in mind that the housing market, a lot of our investments are in real estate. So they were not as high as some other years, or the growth wasn't.
I have no idea.
275,000.
Yeah.
So
that's including all of our investments and
rentals and stuff.
And incomes that we have.
So we spend a lot, but we also put away a lot of money, and we have been disciplined enough to put our money into places where it will grow, and it will grow in the background, even if we're spending
on Amazon
a lot of money. So I can sleep at night living with those numbers, because our net worth grew more than what we spent.
Yeah.
So that is it for the CFO meeting.
So
glad everyone attended.
Let us know what your numbers are or what your goals are, and if we can help with any of that process, let us know. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.